Welcome back to the Way to Money podcast, and I'm your host with the most that may give your girlfriend a toast, Dantes. And today, I feel like since this like my, you know, episode in a while. It's been a while. It's been a minute, people. I know it had a lot of stuff going on. I was behind the scenes. Been a lot happening, political, financial. I know a lot of things have struck the world since we last talked. But in other words, I'll just get straight to the point. I've been having this conversation with different people, and it's mostly like a lot of times you may have a dream or you may have a goal. I want to go to school for biochemist or scientific engineering or whatever the case may be. But the problem is with it, you may be from a small town that really don't really too much traffic hit like that. Everybody know everybody, and you really don't have as much. Your opportunity to go as far as you allow them to go. So I feel like this. I want to have a conversation about this. Have a conversation about this too, because a lot of times people don't understand when you go to school for a degree, and you have to look within yourself to be like, okay, is this gonna benefit me in my area? Is there a need for this? Is a supply demand for this, or do I have to move in order to be able to use this degree to get what I need to get from this? But a lot of times people don't really think about that until they get into a certain field or perspective and wonder why they not swimming in money or swimming in dough. That's not how having a career works. A career is not guaranteed to offer you a certain amount of money. Even if you go up and you look up a salary, and say for instance you look up a salary for let's say a counseling psychology, and the median salary may be 45,000 to 50,000, however much. You got to understand, these are not for beginners. These are for people that been in there. They got their foot wet a little bit inside of the field. They have a couple years of experience in these fields. So don't let people. So I feel like, and don't get discouraged by that either. If you actually want to do it, if you want to go to school to become something better and actually further yourself in that field or career that you like and stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with it. But make sure it's the smart thing to do as well. Because I feel like a lot of times, just even now in this day and age, going to school is like the is going to school is just seem like the easy way out of not having to experience life. Because some people, so you have some, I feel like, what I mean by that is you have a sector of people that go to college just to not go work. They go to college not to have a job. They still want to be on campus, going to soap parties and playing playing ding dong ditch on the halls, messing with teachers or whatever the case may be. You have some that's still in their mindset, and there's a lot of people out here that are afraid to grow up and face the real world. Because once you pass them school doors, you are responsible for what you do outside in your day to day life. Have no parent, you have no school teacher telling you to do this or do that or assign schedule. It's up to you if you decide to actually want to. It's up to you if you to actually decide to want to actually further yourself and make that development to grow within yourself. So it's not a case in point of like, oh, it's this and that, I should be doing this. You're not guaranteed. And that's another thing. I feel like we have to stop. I feel like a lot of parents need to start being honest with their children too, as well. Not even just saying it, and I'm not putting them down. I understand you want your child to get an education and have a good job and this and that. Warn your child about taking out debt when you in school. Taking out student loans, um taking out unnecessary loans, just getting into credit card trouble, spending reckless money buying more clothes than food, and then now you a struggling hungry college student that can't even perform. Now you basically have to find somebody with a pack of noodles that you can look in somebody's dorm room, that you can boil in somebody's dorm room. Like, you don't want to be one of them kids in college that literally has no way of growing themselves as well. So if you looking into a field, or if you going and transitioning from a high schooler to a college student, please make sure you do all detailing that you can. You find out every single detail that you can about your specific field. Because if you don't, it hurts you more than it hurts anybody else. Because guess what? You the one that got to look at the teacher every day. You are the one that's paying out of your financial aid and scholarship. So that's another thing too. But I feel like when people go for small, and that's why a lot of people feel like, oh, it's hopeless. I never get nothing like this because I'm in this area and all that. It's a lot of people out here struggling in other areas too. Cause just because you move to another area with more opportunity, true enough, you may be in a job market where they may look or require you to be it or have some type of condition that you may have, a working condition you may have, but that don't mean you may get the job, because you may go somewhere else, live there thinking, oh yeah, I got this job, I got this down in bag, this me right here, I can't just, then you don't get it. That's how life is. Life is full of specified circumstances. We don't like to think about the bad and be pessimistic, but I feel like you got to think about the good and the bad. But a lot of times you got to have a backup plan too. And that's another thing where I feel like a lot of people who have these goals, that go to school for the engineering, the whatever, they don't have a backup plan just in case if they can't do nothing in that particular field. It's either there or nothing. Or they haven't even thought out a suitable conclusion to be like, okay, if I spend 5 to 10 years of my life in college with a degree, and if I don't get it, what happened? Oh, my life is over. I don't know what to do. And now you're panicking because you feel like as though now you wasted your time to go get a degree that you can't really get nothing in, and now it's hurting you to now you don't really know how to pivot. You don't know how to change yourself. You don't know how to grow from what you're doing. So then you see how badly that sounds when you think about it. And imagine you straight out of college or fresh out of college, you graduated. You literally have no leeway at all. But at the same time, you thinking about, oh, they gotta take it. I got this degree and all that. You have a bachelor. You have a bachelor's at most. At most, the most you probably can do with a bachelor degree, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. It probably working at a desk doing paperwork. 100%. You don't have enough credentials to officiate yourself in the field yet. You don't get that until you get a master's or a doctorate in certain fields. Because certain fields you can't start off of like actually in the practice until you get a master's degree. Some it takes for you to actually become a doctor until you finally like start picking up certain types of work or certain types of, you know, certain types of programming. But it's a lot. I feel like as though that people we don't look at as a just as a whole, because I feel like a lot of times we do, even if you do come from a small area, small areas don't define you, they build character. So that's the character that you are when you leave here, or when you leave your small world or your small way of living and you want to go to something big. A lot of times that might not be the best benefit for you. But a lot of times you people don't know how to use their area either as a communication factor. And what I mean by that is a person can use their area to be like, okay, let me network with these people. Let me appeal to my people back home first before I go somewhere and take off and, maneuver around before I go share it with the world. Let me share it around the people at my school, then share it from the teacher, then tell the teacher, share it to their friends or whatever the case may be. If you're doing proper networking and etiquette, you start from your base first. Because a lot of times, even if you don't get it, even though a lot of people don't come at first, you have to build your name. You have to get your name out there. Do internships. Go shop your resume around that fields of jobs that may have the certain type of criteria that you may be looking for. And a lot of things too, and I understand that this might be like me shooting a bullet at you. You have to save money. You have to saving money to make your dream come true. Far as in not saying that, oh, you got to have a lot of money to in order for this and that. No, if you claim like you want to move or you have a specific designated area where it's the best jobs in that particular field, you have to have the money for your living expenses. You can't expect to be like, oh, I'm so tired of this area. It's depressing. It's boring. We don't have anything. Just get up and leave one day. Then you go somewhere else, and life really hits you because now the pay is different. The pay is different. The cost of living probably is way more higher than it was when you were staying in your small town. And now you don't know what to do, and you basically borderline homeless. So it's a consequence when you move too hasty with these drastic decisions, especially the ones that attribute so much in your life, that can contribute so much in your life that can take you to a whole nother playing field. It can either push you to the point to where you go exponentially, or it can hurt you to the point of where everything is ruined for you. And that all depends on your mindset. Cause like I said, I have friends as of right now, or people that I know that do have the type of hasty mindset that a lot of times being in a small area, they feel cramped, they feel suffocated. I can't do it. It's nothing to do. It's, oh my God, I can't, like, it's too much. It's too much. And now they went to a bigger city. They either went to a bigger city or they tried living somewhere for a while. They end up struggling. They end up struggling way worse than when they were staying in a small town. But a lot of times is too. A lot of people are willing to put fun over survival. Let be honest with ourselves. A lot of people are willing to put fun over survival. And what I mean by that, you'll rather go where's the latest clubs, latest this, latest that. Meanwhile, you cannot afford to stay there. You're doing that for aesthetically to look like you having a good life. Yeah, me in the club, me and Twin in the club. You doing that for who? You ain't doing that for yourself. You doing that for the other people on the internet to gratify you to make you look like, oh my God, like I want to be like her. She living up, she doing a like, and she not. She behind on bills. She parting her life away because she just trying to forget about the next day, and then she knows she got an eviction notice right on her table. That be the reality that people don't see on the internet. Y'all don't know what these people are going through. Y'all don't know when the money slow up for these people because they try to throw everything with money in y'all faces, so y'all never know. But at the same time, you can't be small-brained when you're dealing with people, or when people are trying to sell you these ideologies and they're wrong. So in other words, I feel like this. Coming, like I said, you being from a small town is not the end all be all. If you feel like you have to go to another area and stuff like that, you gotta save and stack your money up and you have to reroute yourself to be able to move somewhere without having overhead, without having all that financial overhead when you get there, like where I'ma live, where I'ma stay. I ain't got nothing to eat. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. I'm just out. I'm just out here just living out my car. And a lot of people like that. They hated the small town so much. They'd rather go to another state, live in a car, have nowhere to go, or none of that. And don't get me wrong, I understand. Oh well, it's famous people that had that type of story, and that's cool. Everybody's story is not yours. They'll even tell you, do not do what I did. Because everybody don't turn up like that. Everybody don't have the glorious Cinderella story where they have the riches and the fame and all that. They don't have that. And that's a dangerous game that you playing because you risking taking an opportunity. Taking an opportunity is a risky and challenging decision. Trust and believe. You can either stay and be comfortable, or sometimes you can bet it all on yourself and go out there and make a name for yourself. But your work ethic has to match. If your work ethic doesn't match what you're doing, if you're outputting more than you're inputting, meaning if you're spending too much, if you're going outside and partying all the time, you're outputting too much. You're outputting too much money, too much of your time, too much of everything. You want to learn how to get into stocks. Go watch videos. You want to learn how to invest into a Roth IRA, how to make sure your retirement is in a good standing. So when you do turn 50, 60, you can live comfortably. You won't have to depend on Social Security. You won't have to wait on the AARP card. You won't have to depend on one of your kids to take care of you, take you to the doctor, and all that. You can be okay. So a lot of times people, small dreams. But and just to end the episode off, in other words, people, a small town and big dreams, they don't really you living in a small town with big dreams, it literally sometimes it does feel like I said, you feel like you in a, what's the saying that they may call it? Sometimes you may feel like you a needle in a haystack. But at the same time, you have to find your way and maneuver through that as well. We all get one life, we get one experience, but if you sit and complain, talk about, oh, the system is this and it's that and it's the government, you have to grow. It's people that overcame the system and you can too. But stubbing yourself and telling yourself, I can't do it. It's hard. Why am I like this? Why is my life so hard? Why is it this and that? And I understand that everybody has their own struggles and stuff like that. But you have to still think logically. Don't move off of emotion. Cause moving off of emotion can put you in a way worse decision, a way worse life in general. It could put you in a way worse life situation than what you are living in now. And with that being said, we are wrapping up the episode. I appreciate y'all. We over 700 downloads now. We got 300 more, and we're gonna get 1,000. And I appreciate y'all. We got people from the Philippines, Hong Kong. Shout out people in Greenwood, Mississippi, India, the motherland, Africa. I appreciate all y'all for watching, and from wherever else that I didn't name, because there's a lot of different countries. And furthermore, we got a bunch of episodes coming, so this is definitely not the end. I know I always tell y'all, I'm back, and then it be like, where he at though? Like, what happened to him? Like, I didn't get ran over by a bus. I'm still here. I just had outside stuff going on, so I always think about y'all, and I miss always talking to y'all because y'all actually. I like the people that take and proceed the information. It ain't, and a lot of times too, the podcast may not be for you. I may not talk about mess or drama or true crime or whatever the case may be. I may not be your everyday podcast, but I still, for the people that I do reach, I still want you to know that it's somebody out there that cares enough to literally get on a microphone, tell you about their experiences and other people's experiences so you can learn from them to grow, not to keep all the information to myself while everybody else is out here suffering. We live in troubled times, so the more you know, the more you grow. And make sure you follow us on Facebook. You subscribe to the YouTube page, people. Subscribe, like the video, share, comment, do all that. I'm trying to do a merch drop for y'all. Cause I already have some myself. So when we get to a certain threshold, I'll let y'all know when the merch dropping. But in other words, people, I appreciate y'all, love y'all. Keep tuning in. And till the next episode.